Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
I keep thinking about how, man, it's already Wednesday. You know, the game's Saturday night. Like we don't have our usual way. The schedule's off. Yeah, it's close. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it feels like we're getting close, and the fact that the Bears had a walkthrough on a Tuesday, and now it's a Wednesday that kind of feels like a Thursday. I got to get my timing all straight here, and I'm enjoying the anxiety. I am. I'm reveling. This anxiety is a good thing. It's a good thing. You should enjoy it, and I know where the fear is. I understand because I'm hearing it from people who are just like, I won't be able to handle it if they lose to the Packers. I won't be able to handle it. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
See, it's interesting because my fear level is lowering and my confidence level is rising.
Is that good or bad? I don't know how that tracks with the Bears' actual success.
I'm more confident today that the Bears are going to win the game on Saturday than I was yesterday.
All right, well, that's one anecdotal data point noted on our plot chart here. There's no logic behind it, but I keep thinking of this game and where we are in terms of beginnings and endings. Because the beginning of the playoffs is weird because you have what could be this long road in front of you. You could have a march to and through the Super Bowl. Or you could be done and thinking about draft and picking over what's left of the assistant coaches to make improvements and looking at the bottom of the roster, etc. I think of beginnings and I think of endings. What's beginning? What's beginning, we hope, is a sustained period of competitiveness for important things for the Bears. That's what we hope, that this is a marking point of a beginning, regardless of the outcome of Saturday night's game, that we will be able to say, as we did when we started the immediate post-game show heading into the playoffs last week. I thought, hey, this has been great, and let this be the beginning of a phase, of an era of Bears football under Ben Johnson that promises every year, even with that daunting 2026 schedule as it appears now, with 7 playoff teams on it. Hopefully, you will have a season where many of those playoff teams don't have the quarterbacks that they have that brought them to the playoffs, and that happens, just like it did this year. But you hope that this is the beginning of a significant time where Bears games mean more. And we're not making up reasons for them to be important. Every decision means more because there are things that are at stake as they will start next season. No matter what happens, they will start as the defending champions of the NFC North. And it's the beginning of that context of thinking about it. This whole thing like, can you win if? Can you win? You can say, well, Ozzie Trapillo was in large part the starting left tackle on a division champion. Okay. Such and such was the starting blank or the regular at his position on a division champion. It matters to say stuff like that. You can say, how far can you go with this person doing this? Well, you can get this far with these people doing these things. That says something. That becomes important when we're evaluating people and what it means to have gotten this far with certain people doing certain jobs. That's good. You hope that's the beginning of something, the beginning of using that context in a way that we haven't for a long time when it comes to young players and decisions that you make on your draft picks or what is available in the future. Is it a beginning of Ben Johnson versus Matt LaFleur? I couldn't believe it when you pointed it out earlier. This is his 7th year.
Yep.
His 7th. That's a long time.
Yeah, 2019 was his first season. So
that's a long
season 7.
time that we're already going to start the next round of Matt Nagy's head coaching career.
Right. Which is why, you were a bit surprised when I threw the idea out that if they don't win this playoff game, could he be on the hot seat?
Yeah, that had started, and I think it was Mike Florio, others that talked about, well, if Kevin Stefanski were to become available, that they've raised the bar and haven't delivered with what they've done in the playoffs.
Right.
And that is a possible ending. If the Bears embarrass the Packers, possible. Would that be enough for it to be the end for Matt LaFleur? I think that would be rash. But stranger things have happened, and stranger things continue to happen in the NFL. John Harbaugh launched yesterday. You called that one, Matty. Mm-hmm. You said it. That you thought that was going to happen. And it may just be that that's the end for him. But sometimes familiarity breeds contempt.
My favorite part of the Harbaugh thing was that his guy claimed to receive 7 calls from the 7 teams that have the 7 head coaching openings, one of them being Baltimore, one of the 7. So I'm not sure if you got 7 calls from 7 teams about your head coaching job.
John, Baltimore's on the line.
They're interested.
They want to talk.
I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense
They're
to me.
gauging your interest in this opening. They're what? I think TV is probably going to be. I think there's a warm television chair.
Yeah.
And a lovely,
did I say that to you?
Lovely
when we were
wardrobe
texting?
for
Did I
him.
say TV for Harbaugh?
Yeah.
When we were texting.
Yeah, I think my response was he'll be really good at it.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I think he ends up in TV for at least a year. But who knows? There's lots of openings.
There are. I just don't know who's ready to bring in somebody who's not an offensive guy.
Yeah.
It seems like that's you. Your coach now has to be your guy in charge of the play calling and in charge of the entire offensive philosophy.
Oh, and we haven't been together since the Lions fired their offensive coordinator,
which we kind of saw coming when he was demoted.
Correct. Right.
I mean, when you get play calling responsibilities stripped out of your responsibility portfolio.
Yeah, and then Grandpa Dan's calling on the sideline.
Yeah, and well, I guess I'll do that. I guess, and it made Grandpa Dan age 30 years.
Yes, it did. It sure did.
It really did. It went from him romping and stomping. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, go get him.
Like a sweater on, like a warm cup of milk.
All he needed was a pipe. Now he looks like me. He's got his little readers on. He's got the Chuck Schumer thing going on. He's writing sternly worded letters to his opponents and going through, well, I guess we'll run this here. It really did change everything.
Yeah,
and you
funny.
knew that guy was launched. So this is I would be shocked if the Packers did anything, just because by the time it all gets done, some of these other staffs are going to be filled out. Those calls are already being made.
Yeah.
The 4 agents who represent everybody you've got people already looking at homes. That people are already, they're so far down the road in the agreements to agree that the later you get, the lower quality staff you're going to end up putting together.
I think if, as you put it, if the Bears embarrass the Packers, it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll call it that if the Bears do embarrass the Packers Saturday night.
Now, what's my next question?
Matt LaFleur will be launched.
What constitutes embarrassment?
Oh, like a 4-touchdown route. I mean, just an absolute like what the Bears did to the Browns, like that 31-3 game.
Okay.
Something along those lines would get him launched.
Okay. You think that would be enough? That
Yes.
would be your critical mass.
I mean, this is 7 seasons, and you haven't done much in those years with the playoffs. And if you look over the last 2 decades with this division, the Packers have won the division more than they've finished in 3rd and 4th place in the division. So with Matt LaFleur being in year 7, it's not like he's new to Green Bay. I mean, that's a long time in the NFL. 7 years is a long time.
That's a career. It is. That is a career at a place when you look at how long average coaching careers last.
Especially when if Jordan Love doesn't perform well either, and you have the stupidity already swirling there about Malik Willis might be a better quarterback.
Well,
I know, Dan. I know. I'm not saying that I agree with it. And Matt LaFleur surely shut that down quickly last week when asked about it. He's the franchise guy. He's our starter when healthy. If he doesn't show up and if they get blown out, it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see LaFleur get launched.
Beginnings and endings, alphas and omegas. I will tell you what I think, for better or for worse, is close to an end. It burned very hot, and it will burn up its fuel and head off elsewhere in the universe, and that is the cheese grater hat. And especially if the Bears lose, we're going to have a stadium full of cheese grater hats, and there's going to be a lot of people like, okay, take it off, I can't see. Like, how long should there be an announcement in the stadium once the game begins, please remove your cheese grater hats so people can see the game.
No, because the cheeseheads, they wear them all game long, right? When they're at Packers games.
But make it but just say, if you want to do it as they're going to commercial break, if you want to put it on and try to get in the bumper shot, because you can't see when people are wearing giant boxes of foam on their heads.
See, now, is it the end?
It's called a box grater. It is. You're wearing a box on your head.
If the Bears win, though, does it end?
No, but they're sold out, apparently. And I'm basing this commentary on the fact that the company that was manufacturing them out of spite, because they were not allowed to manufacture the unlicensed cheeseheads, that now they have their own thing, which is the cheese grater, and now they've been sold out. So my presumption is, I don't know, people are wearing them to their local watering hole or wearing them in their basement or just down the street or into the I haven't seen one in the grocery store yet, but if I had one, I would wear it there.
So the Packers can own cheese, but the Las Vegas A's can't own the Athletics?
Not yet. I think they will.
No, they will eventually.
I think they're just making them jump through some hoops
just
because
silly,
they don't
man.
like them, and it's pretty funny what's going on there. It's like, well, in Las Vegas, we could open a gym and call it Las Vegas Athletics. So you
need to prove to us that you own this name.
Right. That's the way it works. No.
What history do you have with this name? I don't know.
Well, we go back to the Philadelphia Athletics, who kind of called it. I'm not aware. I'm going to have to prove that.
And was that 1800s or were they early 1900s?
I don't think they went, but maybe there might have been a team that went back to the 1800s because it sounds old.
But it's like, what history do you have with this name, Athletics, sir?
Yeah, in this town.
Trying to pull a fast one over on me.
But so the cheese grater hat, my guess is, if the Bears lose, you can't come back next year and wear that again, can you?
Not until you win again, right?
It's too gimmicky.
Or during a win? It's all gimmicky.
But the cheese thing was able to get past the formative gestation period, and now it's presumed. That's part of the thing.
Yeah, because it's a badge of honor to wear the cheese head.
It's also,
you're a cheese
they're
head.
called
That's
cheese
the
heads.
Right. So
Wisconsinites are referred to as cheeseheads. Chicagoans are not referred to as cheese grater heads. It's reactive.
Yeah, so I hope this guy who makes these hasn't started production
exactly
until the Bears win, because once you lose, it's got to be done, right?
I would love to know if he made an investment proposal to some venture capital firm or somebody's like, look, I just need money to buy the resources to print these. I just need the raw materials. I need extra foam, rubber, and gray paint.
He should go to Shark Tank. Ask Mark Cuban for money.
Well, but they would all. Can this be scaled? What are your costs? And they'd be done with him.
What happens if the Bears lose?
Right.
Well, then we stop production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good way to imagine it. Is how I think this is probably over. It's fun, but that's probably an ending.
Yeah.
I think
you're right. Even with a win, I think it's kind of done, right? Maybe. Like, it was cute when it happened, and then the Ravens pulled it out as well too. So that was a nice dig at the Packers themselves too. But it's kind of over, maybe, as we're talking about it here.
That's my belief. Is the more you think about it, it's like, okay, it's like, even it's already peaked. Even going into this game, the fact that they're sold out and everyone's going to have it, like, you missed the trade on it now. It's probably already peaked.
So this might be one of the endings.
Yeah.
Not a beginning.
No, it's okay. So I had that as one of the endings. But I think even should the Bears lose, we're going to be miserable for a period of time, right? We'll be unhappy, and that's okay. Yeah. And we'll lick our wounds and still be like, hey, that's when it's okay to fall back and be realistic about the season being successful. We want it to be more successful. And they have every opportunity to make it that, even with this really bad defense that we're going to continue to discuss. So I'm trying to be level-headed about what the game is and what it isn't. And then I spiral a little bit, and I think, holy shit, the Bears are playing the Packers Saturday night in the playoffs.
Yep.
And then I get the anxiety again. So, and then I remember, enjoy it. Enjoy it. This is fun anxiety. It's just sports.
Yeah, bro, I'm so excited about it. So I told you we have 4 basketball games on Saturday.
Perfect.
So that'll keep me occupied. Then we're doing a birthday dinner Hank was the first, and Lucas is turning 10 on the 11th. So we're going to do a birthday dinner in town. And then, we'll all go back home and just, I'm going to be able to watch the game, all six of us together.
Dinner.
Well, yeah, it's going to have to be, which is fine. I mean, these are kids. No. We want to go out. It's birthdays.
I know, but it's
birthday dinners.
Bears
We want to make it more. No, we'll be home by 7.
Because we had to reschedule some things. My cousin wanted to get a bunch of us together to go curling.
Oh, yeah, no.
I've never been curling.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Just not Saturday.
And it was scheduled, and he sent out the big email. He's like, yeah, about curling night that we were thinking of doing.
Not going to happen.
We're going to table that for now.
Yeah, that and the reindeer farm, I'd cancel all that stuff.
I didn't have reindeer farm on there. I've never been to one. Is there one?
Yeah, I remember we had a guy.
Oh, yeah, we did.
He was supposed to go to a reindeer because they scheduled the 20th for Bears-Packers, and it's really? Yeah. All the Christmas parties and things. And one guy emailed. He's like, yeah, my wife scheduled a reindeer farm trip for us.
Did you hear who else is pissed about the scheduling?
Who?
The Bulls.
Oh, why? Did they play?
Io, Modis. Yeah, they're like, what the hell, man? They're all pissed that they've got to work.
Oh, boy.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's not a good look, though.
Why?
Because it's just not.
They're
professional athletes.
They so happen to be. It's their job.
Yeah.
They're pissed they have to work during the Bears game. I don't think it's a bad look at all.
I do.
I don't. Why should a professional athlete be exempt from being pissed about not being able to watch the Bears?
Because at the end of the day, you play a fucking game for your job, man.
So do we. Come on.
Not really.
No,
don't even compare an NBA player to what we do.
Well, they make a lot more money.
And
their feet hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
But I absolutely get it. If you're Io DeSumo and you got to work during the Bears-Packers game,
you mean play an NBA basketball game?
It's his job.
I think it's a bad look.
I don't.
We can disagree.
I don't at all. I think it's completely reasonable. It happens to be what they've worked all their life to do, and that's what they're at the top of their profession, and they should be afforded the same empathy for not being able to watch the Bears.
No empathy here.
Just because of how much money they make?
Zero. Because you play a game for a living.
What?
So yeah.
You're
on the stage. You're on the stage of sports, greatness too yourself in the NBA.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a job. They've got a job responsibility, and they would rather be home watching their football team, probably wearing a cheese grater hat.
Well, keep playing defense like you do. You'll be home quick enough to see it. So yeah, it's fine. I'm sure there's a TV in where are they playing at? They playing at the UC? Yeah. I'm sure they can find a TV to go watch it somewhere. They can stream it.
I'm disappointed in your
they can turn it on
lack
at halftime.
Of empathy and understanding.
When they're down 40 at halftime, I'm sure they can start watching it in the locker room.
Now you've got a list here, a menu full of Bears audio that I want to get to because we've got so much between this and between Forward Progress today. Want to make sure we are up to speed with the latest that we are hearing from the Chicago Bears and their principals.
Yeah, so we'll start with Ben Johnson. A couple cuts here from the Bears head coach.
Where's your trust in Colson right now? Is that kind of reliable target in this offense?
He's come, he's shown up and he's made big plays for us. I think the last few fourth downs, the ball seems to find its way to him. I think that's certainly a credit to him. The quarterback certainly trusts him, but I think that probably sheds a lot of light in terms of how vital he is towards our operation. We ask him to wear a lot of hats in terms of knowing the game plan, a lot of different positions, a lot of different responsibilities, run game, pass protection, and I think he's still learning and he's growing, and really excited not only to see him compete over the next few weeks, but also his future.
Okay, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He said the quarterback trusts him.
Yeah. I told you he does that, man. That's his thing. He'll talk.
Is he mad at Caleb?
He'll interchange Caleb, the quarterback, offense when he's talking about the same guy.
I know.
All the time.
Is he unhappy with Caleb?
I don't think he's unhappy with Caleb.
I just when he defaults to saying the quarterback as if it's some interchangeable. We know who your quarterback is,
right?
You could say his name.
Yeah, and Ben, there's some coaches that we've heard from a lot over the years, and as they always refer to the guy by the first name. That's just how they do it, And we'll talk.
We go back to Buddy Ryan calling guys by their number.
Right. Oh, right, which is great. That's one of my favorite coach things. I love that. I really do.
Well, you saw what 50 was doing.
Right. That's one of my favorites. But Ben, this whole season hasn't been consistent with what he's choosing. And I don't
That's why
know.
we need to learn what it means.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's anything behind it. Maybe he's still irritated about the Lions game, maybe, which is why he's talked about the offense a lot and the quarterback. I don't know. Maybe he is. Who knows? But he's done it. He's done it throughout the season. So
when you
I
say,
guess I'd have to go back through and track it
a little
and see.
dismissive. Well, the quarterback certainly trusts him.
It
sounded like a little like, well, maybe kind of look for other guys out there?
No, I didn't hear dismissive. I just heard that he wasn't referring to him as Caleb at that moment.
He also didn't seem to really want to praise Loveland effusively. He's like, well, yeah, we give him a lot of responsibility, and he's had a lot to do. The quarterback certainly trusts him.
I think, and because his tone has been a little interesting these last 2 days,
hasn't it?
I think he's Steady Eddie has turned it into like super intense Steady Eddie because he's ready for this game.
He's ready, Eddie.
Yes, he's ready, Eddie. Intense ready, Eddie. So that's all I think to it.
Okay.
What I liked about this though,
because we've never heard him get ready for a playoff game before.
No, we haven't.
I think his bullshit tolerance is lower right now.
Yes, and I think some questions maybe elevate that.
Maybe he knows that. Look, somebody's writing a Loveland story.
Right.
That's what it is. You know from the question that an editor or a program director say, look, we're going to concentrate. I want you to concentrate on this. Everybody's got, every outlet's got 4 or 5 people covering this right now.
Because wasn't he the leading receiver?
Yes.
He finished the leading receiver.
Yeah.
So there's a story being done.
And he's having a great rookie tight end season. And because of everything he just described, run game, pass catching, blocking, everything that he's doing,
right,
H-back stuff, all of that, it's really hard for a rookie to have it down to the point where he's got it now. His level of polish for a rookie tight end is very high.
So I want to talk about that too, the development where he started from the beginning of the season to where he is now. And I think what we've learned about Ben, if he trusts you and you work hard, you'll get more opportunities.
It's coaching.
Right. So, but he has to trust you.
Yeah,
and you get that trust.
Look at a baseball manager with a bullpen.
Right. So, and we've seen that development for Colson. And I think it's been great for us as Bears fans because when have we seen the development? And I know he's still on a trajectory and there's a path to grow and he'll get better. When have we seen this with a tight end?
The last time the Bears had
drafted a tight end that you saw this type of growth and projection in 1 year.
Ditka.
And dude, you're going back to the 60s.
Well, that's the last time.
Yeah, I know. But so that's why it's so exciting to see this kid from being in the game plan to block as an extra blocker, he and Cole Kmet, to now, I mean, Dan, I think on Sunday, he lined up in alignment-wise outside as a wide receiver, I think more than 10 times on Sunday's game. And I think he's 3rd or 4th in the league lining up like that as a tight end, lining up outside as a wide receiver. I mean, so
you know when the last time is?
When?
2020 when they drafted Cole Kmet.
Yeah, but Cole Kmet is not the same offensive player that Colson Loveland is.
If you start going back and I'm just off the top of
my
head,
though.
I would think Adam Shaheen was a 2nd round pick
and a bust.
Who? John Allred.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say Cole Kmet, but Cole Kmet is not what Colson Loveland is.
I'm just trying to think of other tight end draft picks.
Like I love Cole Kmet. He's great, and he's done so much to help this team be successful this year.
Where was Kellen Davis taken? 4th round,
3rd or 4th?
Oh, Greg Olson.
That's where you go. Greg Olson is where you go back to.
And then his development was only interrupted by a coordinator change,
right?
By a philosophical difference.
And then he went on to have a fantastic career outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
So Greg Olson.
That's the answer.
Yes.
Is Greg Olson. But he was...
How quickly we forget.
Yeah, but he was...
Best in broadcasting.
It's almost like he was punished for being good at his job. And even as a rookie...
He was. That's a good way to put it.
As a rookie, he had 39 catches and 2 touchdowns as a rookie and 54 the next season. And he was on Carolina when he was 26.
But there's something special.
People don't realize that he played more than double the time in Carolina. He didn't get great until Carolina.
Right. No, he's not a Bears tight end. He was drafted by the Bears. He was drafted by the Bears.
Yeah, but
but if you look at his career, you're not going to say, if he were to go into the Hall of Fame, he's not going in as a Chicago Bear.
He's not going in.
Well, no, I'm not saying he is. It was just the whole point of
3-time
context.
Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
2014, 2015, 2016.
But Colson Loveland's got something special, man. What this kid can do.
No doubt. No, he is. There's nothing about his rookie year that says he can't be a great player.
I think he's going to be a great player.
Yep.
And for the fact that he has lined up outside as a receiver, like the third or fourth most routes as a tight end, that says a lot about his growth.
And a lot about why Ben Johnson wanted him and the evolution of modern offense. All right, let's roll.
So good stuff. All right, and this is one last one from Ben Johnson.
It is totally different in an NFL postseason. What about his progress just indicates he's ready for this kind of stage?
Yeah, I mean, he's a completely different quarterback than when we first took this job. I think back to the springtime and during camp at times, and some of the struggles that we were having as an offense in those moments. We've certainly moved past that, and so I'm encouraged for where he's at right now. I know he's really looking forward to this opportunity to go out there, and he's played some really good football here, particularly in the back half of the season for us, and we're going to need that. We're going to need him at his best. We're going to need all of our players at their best, and I'm hopeful we're going to get that.
Oh, he didn't say he was confident. He said he was hopeful. Okay.
Hopeful,
okay.
but completely different quarterback, which would agree on that. All right, and then here's the aforementioned Cole Kmet. He was asked about that 2-point conversion.
Cole, what did you see on the catch in the end zone, and what sort of hit? What did it feel like to kind of sustain the blow that you took?
It didn't feel good, I'll tell you that. Yeah, well, I missed on my block, and then Kyle did a good job of kind of helping me out there, and looked like they covered the concept pretty well, and Caleb got the scramble mode, so just kind of found a void, and Caleb made a great throw in there, and was able to come up with a catch.
Yeah, I just love how he called out Kyle too. Yeah, it didn't feel good, but I like that he pointed out Kyle because he did whiff on his block. He fell.
Yep.
But great awareness to get up, find a pocket to sink into when Kyle picked up the missed block. All right, and then Cole was asked about, and we talked about the cheese graters going away, so let's get some commentary on cheese graters, and this is Cole Kmet, and something about his sister, which I didn't know until today.
I did not. I didn't know what that was, honestly, till the day after. I saw DJ wearing it in the locker room, and I couldn't tell what it was. But good for the guy, whoever made that. I'm sure he's doing pretty well right now.
Who's your sister?
I don't know. I don't talk to her on Packer Week, so I'll find out after the game.
You don't talk to her?
No, I'm kidding. Well, she did ask for tickets, and I just sent her the tickets, so I didn't really respond to anything else besides that. But
Ask the other guy?
No. They wanted the better seats. That's why. So I had to help my sister out. No, all kidding aside. But I usually find that out after the game. Usually she's just she's happy to see both of us healthy and all that good sister stuff. But I hope deep down she's rooting for us.
Okay. It's so funny. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Where we were talking about former Bears tight ends, and I mentioned John Allred. Didn't his sister marry
A Packer, right?
No, it's John Lynch,
Oh, yes, John Lynch.
right?
Yeah,
the
that's
former Buccaneers.
now Broncos GM.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's John Allred's sister, and if I remember, looks exactly like John Allred, like the same face. Okay. Make sure I'm not crazy.
No, you're right. Yeah, Linda Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's John Allred's sister. You're
Yes.
100% correct.
Yeah, that there was a history of Bears tight ends sisters being the wags of competitors.
Yeah, so I didn't know that Frankie Kmet is dating Lucas Van Ness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know either. And then he says he hopes. Okay.
I hope she's rooting for the Bears. What he says.
No, it depends how serious they are. I think. Yeah. It depends how far along that relationship is. But
Yeah, you got to convert, right?
yeah, you wouldn't be doing your job otherwise.
All right, so you've been wanting someone to talk about Super Bowl and say Super
Yes,
Bowl.
I want to say it,
All right.
embrace it, say it. Championships, Super Bowls.
But look, we haven't done anything yet, and the goal at the end of the day, there's only 32 teams, so the goal is the Super Bowl, and that's what our mission is, and we got to take care of this first one here. And
There you go.
The goal is to win it.
Yep.
To win the Super Bowl, not just get there. The Bears did that. How'd that go for you?
Not good.
Was that fun? When the
Was
Bears,
not
did
fun.
you have that whole thing, the nebulous thing, a Super Bowl, have a Super Bowl? No, win it.
Win it.
You don't
But
get
hey, he's the first guy to say it, though,
Yes.
that we've heard.
Thank you.
All right. Now, you wanted some transparency, some openness, some accountability on the defensive side of the football.
Yes, I have. Oh, are you just giving me gifts?
Yes.
I like it.
Here you go. This is Montez Sweat. He was asked about the pass rush.
How would you kind of assess the pass rush overall through the season? Like, what did you like? What didn't you like?
I'll probably touch on that later on after we done with all this type of stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's ups and downs and things of that sort. Yeah, touch on that later.
There you go. You asked for some transparency about the defense. Was that not good enough? I'm sorry. What?
Touch on it later?
Yeah.
Touch on it now.
They're going to touch on it later after all this stuff's done.
No. I'm interested in what you think now.
Nope.
It's not done yet.
Not going to get it.
Okay.
All right. So now so we were questioning if he was fully healthy at
Yes.
times, remember?
Yes.
Later in the season here.
Yes.
He's asked about it. And again, we want more transparency. This is what we'll get from Montez.
What have you dealt with the last month or so? What have you played through?
I won't go into details on specific things that not on the injury report or anything like that. So
There you go. You feel better about the defense now?
No.
You got some answers you wanted. Pass rush was talked about.
See, I thought you're gonna take care of me here, and you're not. You set something up, and then you pull the rug out.
I gave you the
from
Super
underneath
Bowl,
me.
and then I
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
pulled it right
I don't.
back.
Well, I can't talk about that because we haven't put it on the injury report. We get in trouble for it. It happens every year.
Yeah.
It happens every year. Well, I was playing the whole second half of the season with a broken spine.
and a bone sticking out of my
Right.
thigh.
It's
Yeah.
always. Why was it on the injury report? Well, it wasn't really that big a deal.
Yeah.
My entire spinal column was pulled out, was dangling
Fell out my
behind
butt.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost a leg. I had the leg sewed back on, but it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's football, it's whatever thing.
All right. Well, sorry that didn't satisfy
It didn't.
your need for information on the defense. I thought we'd get it for sure.
It didn't.
Okay.
We did get the other cheese grater hat comment from Cole Kmet, though, too.
All right. Last one. This is for Kevin Byard. He was asked about why he believes in the defense.
I believe in us just because of what we've done all year. Like I said, at the end of the day, there's always things that we can fix, but it's the same thing for every team. You know what I mean? Like, no.
So what he does is he spells out the formula for you that we've talked about now.
He globalizes
this
everything,
week.
too.
But
Okay,
here's the
yeah.
formula.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's a team in this league, especially in NFC, that's unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, every team can be beat. And I think just for us as a defense, I believe in us being able to take the ball away at a high level. We're the best in the league at doing that. And I think that's been our identity and something that we can hang our hat on going to this playoff as well. And being great in the red zone, I think we were confident last week with our red zone defense, and that's what it's about. And scoring more points than the other team. And obviously, we don't want to give up those yards, but if we're forcing field goals in the red zone, that's always going to be a win. And I have confidence in our offense and being able to put up points. So.
Yeah, this is a classic exercise in the logical fallacy of begging the question. Why are you confident in the defense? Because because we're good at defense, or I'm confident in the things a good defense should do.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't proven yet that you are a good defense, that you have those things in which to be confident. That is presuming things to be in evidence that aren't, which is a classic logical fallacy.
Well, they can be confident in the fact that they've led the league in turnovers. So that's a fact. Be confident there.
Yep.
They talk about red zone defense, and it goes up and down. The Packers in game 2 were 0 for 5. Lions were 1 for 5. The Niners were 5 for 5 as far as touchdowns are concerned, okay? And when it comes down to it, you finished in the middle of the pack in red zone defense. So you're not great, you're not terrible, you're just right there.
It's
now,
just
the issue
it happens to be better than your overall defensive numbers, and therefore you lean on that as you're good at it. No, you're not necessarily worse at it. And whatever makes you good at that, do that before you get to the red
right.
zone.
So here's the thing, though, and red zone offense is really hard. That's
because
the thing.
Of the compression.
It's
yes.
really hard. So the pressure elevates, and it gets really, really difficult on offenses to score in the red zone. which therefore helps your defense out a bit. Now, you get some turnovers that can change some things, but you do give up a lot of yards. And, the Bears defense, they give up 24 points a game. They score 25 points a game on average for the Bears offense, one of the best scoring in the league. So when you're giving up 24 and you score 25 on average, which is why we have all these
but they
hairs on fire.
Operate separately. So
I know they
if you're
do.
answering that question.
I'm not answering the question, but I'm saying look at the characteristics of this team this season, which is why we've had all these like heart attack games, because you're giving up almost the same as you're scoring. That's just relatively how it works for the characteristics of this team.
There's no way to answer that well, other than to say, why are you confident? We have beaten this team before. We look forward with our familiarity to sharpening what we do, to drilling down during this week and preparing for a known opponent. We trust that our coaches and these veteran players will be at their best on Saturday night.
Yeah, and you can look at the history of their season. They've won 11 games. They won 11 games. You can be confident in that. You can argue all the characteristics of their opponents.
We've been good enough. Whatever you want to say about us, we've been good enough for the team to win 11 games.
Yeah, they won 11 out of 17 games.
Which is sort of a sideways way of answering the question, and maybe it's not a fair question. Why are you so confident in this mediocre at best defense?
Well, but
I think it's kind of a tough way of framing it.
He tells you the formula, and I think this is the reality that Ben Johnson understands. The team's going to give up a lot of yards. They're going to give up yards. You hope that your red zone. I know, but they're going to though, Dan. That's part of who they've been.
I'd like for them to give up no yards.
I would love that too, but that's not who they are. They're not going to get pressure on the quarterback.
I would like for them to get pressure on the quarterback.
They're going, and they'll address those after the season's over. But this is where you are right now, the reality of the 2025 Bears. You hope their red zone defense is there and clicking, and the red zone offense you're facing isn't clicking. That's what you hope. And you hope that the offense can score more points for you. And again, I'll tell you this, and I'm going to keep repeating it to you. 24 points or less, you allow that, you're 9-1 on the season. Offense has to show up, which is why Ben is so on the offense and Caleb, because they have to score points to carry this defense.
All right, we've heard all this audio. In just a second, I'm going to give you what I thought was yesterday's quote of the day. Okay? But first, I want to let you know about Russ Armstrong and Chicago Window Guys, because you need windows, and you're reminded of it sometimes during the winter or maybe sometimes during the summer. There's never a bad time to be aware of, these windows aren't good. And we've gone through it as people who built a house 20 years ago, and the quality of windows is better. The technology is better. People know more about them. And once you know Russ, and once you have him do a few windows, you're like, oh, there is a difference. That's why I recommend him. So if and when you need windows, and you probably do if you've been living there for a while, call him, 847-302-9171, and check out all the 5-star reviews of his company, Chicago Window Guys, at chicagowindowguys.com. He has a price match guarantee, so it takes that concern off the table, even if you're the kind of simple-minded person that believes all of these free sales gimmicks that you hear. Like, wait, I buy one, I get one free? I buy one, I get one 50% off? It's 2 for 1? He'll explain why you shouldn't believe all that, and he'll give you the actual best price on the actual best windows, and all his people will do the installations. He doesn't use subcontracted labor. He also has a replacement guarantee, because there's a lifetime guarantee with parts and labor. Even if your kid throws a football through the window out front, Russ will replace it for free. And then you don't have to wait for a replacement to come in from across the country. Russ's factory, where he custom makes the windows for you, is right here in Chicago. So do this, 847-302-9171. Talk to Russ Armstrong and check out the 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com.
Hey, did you want to hear Montez Sweat in the pass rush again or no? Okay.
Here is what I thought was the quote of the day yesterday. Okay? This is Illinois House Speaker Emmanuel Welch. You can call him Chris. This is Chris Welch. And he was asked about the Chicago Bears prospects. And he said that he hopes that they beat the Packers. I'm like, wait, that's not what we're asking the Illinois House Speaker.
That's nice, though.
It's very nice that he hopes the Bears win. And then here's what he said at the City Club of Chicago yesterday. When folks say, what's your priority going into the legislative session? We are trying to bring down the cost of living. Talking about a brand new Bears stadium, when this one's not even 25 years old, that's insensitive to what real people are going through right now. His word, not mine. To even talk about it has now been labeled insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
He was addressing questions about the Bears' request for the property tax breaks and $800 million or more in state support for infrastructure, which I don't necessarily. I understand the infrastructure stuff. I'm not even really all that mad about some of those requests. And this comes to us via WTTW and Capital News, Illinois. He says, talking about a brand new Bears stadium, that's insensitive. And even more, the Senate President, Don Harmon, said, this is according to a spokesperson, President Harmon agrees that we need to stay focused on issues like education and health care and everyday affordability, the things people care about, especially given the economic uncertainties being thrown at us by Washington. They also talk about where the budget is right now. And Welch said that his caucus is not hearing from constituents about the Bears. He said, this is Welch again, they're hearing people talk about the cost of prescription drugs, about premiums for their health care insurance going up, grocery prices, rent. They're talking about the cost of living. I don't know anyone that has knocked on a door where someone has said anything about the Chicago Bears. I hope Kevin Warren is paying attention to this. He said, I don't know anyone, in his caucus that has knocked on a door of a constituent and someone has said anything about the Chicago Bears. Wow. This is strong language. Mm-hmm. Strong language to say not one person, not enough people. It isn't a big enough priority. He's saying he's hearing nothing. Yeah. And to even talk about it, he is already labeled as insensitive. Well, okay, then. Just want to make sure that we note that is where we are as the legislative session. This isn't the veto session. This is the beginning of the new legislative session when every indication has been from the governor, from the state Senate, from the state House, very, 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 very far from a priority for them right now, if it's even on the list of priorities at all.
They break ground yet in Gary?
No,
okay.
They have not. The golden shovels and the giant cranes have yet to be involved. I'm sorry to disappoint you or burst your bubble in any way.
So the Bears have this lease at Soldier Field through 2033, but they could break the lease for $84 million, and then they still owe the city money, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then an additional 84 to break the lease early, which they don't have, and they don't have the money to pay the Bears back either.
The Bears might be in some trouble if they, as I suspect, don't have the money to finance this themselves.
And I can't see a scenario where they actually sell the team.
And they are not allowed to sell enough of the team to make a difference in the liquidity that this would take.
Because then they would be minority owners.
They'd have to exactly.
Right. I imagine the city makes a lot of money off Soldier Field.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sure we could get them.
And I'm sure they make money off Bears games being played there. I wonder if the Bears
pay rent.
I wonder if the Bears went about this the wrong way. Now, I've always said it's one of the worst things in sports that the Bears don't own their own stadium. I think it's terrible. But maybe they went about this the wrong way, and instead of trying to get out and leave and then clusterfuck the whole Arlington Heights thing, and then threaten moving to Indiana, which I thought was a really dumb idea. Really bad move on their part for negotiating. Should they have tried to work some kind of partnership out for a new location altogether with the city to work together, where the Bears can benefit more financially from having a nicer facility, a bigger facility that can host more, but the city also gets revenue from it as they do now.
It just doesn't. No sports stadium generates the revenue they say it does.
Okay.
It almost entirely, the actual economics of it, the sports stadium almost entirely benefits the owner of the team.
And that's through
not the surrounding
the private
area,
seat licensings.
not through every revenue stream.
Yeah.
So it would sort of defeat the Bears' purpose. I don't know why the Bears would want to enter into any kind of partnership instead of spending the money and owning it themselves and having all the money.
Because they don't have the money.
themselves.
That they don't have, that's the problem. They don't have the money.
It may be that is really true. In which case, go to Indiana. Go ahead. And all of your trumped up studies about economic impact and jobs and revenue for the state. Talk to Kansas about this. But there's no free stadium. They cost billions and billions and billions, and the money comes from taxpayers. Unless it's somebody like Joe Mansueto saying, I'm going to build it.
Right.
Otherwise, the money, however they hide it, however they say, well, we're just moving it. It's no new taxes. That's usually the dodge is what they'll say. There's no new taxes. They just siphon it from elsewhere.
Okay.
And disguise it with language and say, look, and so instead of this money going to roads, schools, health care.
So that stuff gets impacted, so it gets funneled into.
Ultimately, you can't create money out of whole cloth. You just can't. And at this point, if the Bears don't have the money, if it isn't just a lack of desire, if it's truly a lack of ability, because they don't have the liquidity, they don't have the cash, they can't do it, then go take whatever Indiana's offering.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's fine.
I don't see the Bears. I don't see the Bears going to Indiana.
I don't either.
I just don't. I don't. And I see this playing out where Kevin Warren's contract runs out whenever that does, and the Bears are still at Soldier Field in 2034. I really do.
Nah, I don't think that's tenable.
I think the only way they move out is if they sell, and they're not selling this team. They've really cluster fucked this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, from the start.
Yeah, by not diversifying their business interests. By not having any other family business outside of the Bears, they've made it to where they can't really grow their family business.
Yeah, it wouldn't seem right if they're in Indiana, but at the end of the day, I don't care because I don't go to games. I watch, and I mean, if I need to have 18 different streaming services to watch NFL in the future, fine.
I know a lot of Giants fans that don't give a damn they play in New Jersey. It's just not a big deal. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it won't affect me at all because I'm not going. Just keep them on TV. We're good to go. I'm fine. But man, what a mess. Yeah, and if Kevin Warren and the Bears need to hear anything else outside of what Chris Welch had to say, what more do you need to hear, man?
It's insensitive.
It's not going to go well for you, pal. It's not.
They've been told no every way, every time. Every different euphemism for no.
I mean, the governor and the mayor are more concerned with fighting the administration and fighting with Trump and social media and all that stuff. They don't give a shit. And now, what after this stuff now?
It's not even really a negotiation.
What more do you need to hear?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we have one practice on Thursday. It's from 6 to 7, so that's good. I'll be able to watch most all this game.
Basketball practice?
No, Hank has a baseball practice.
Good.
Yeah.
Are they just doing pitchers, catchers now, just throwing bullpens?
Oh,
or
no.
You go to a dome and hit everything?
Yeah, there's an indoor facility in Lake Forest that, or is it Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, somewhere around there that they use. And
wow.
Yeah, and so the whole
Such
team's
a
been
racket.
going for a bit now. Yeah.
I always find it so loud in those places.
They are loud.
It's the only thing I don't like about going to the indoor baseball practices. You just kind of get overwhelmed by the noise.
Yeah, they both have them 2 hours tonight, and then Hank has an hour tomorrow, and then he has a practice hour and a half on Friday night as well too. It's all baseball. Yeah.
So last night I checked in on Duke and Louisville. Saw that the game was on. I realized it was Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. And is Dan Schulman's voice getting deeper?
I don't know. I didn't turn the game on. I checked the score on my phone and saw that Duke was losing.
Every time now I hear Dan Schulman, he's turning into Thurl Ravenscroft. Seriously. And I know he's trending down toward a bass voice now.
Maybe he's smoking unfiltered.
Maybe he's got the Harry Callis thing going on. I don't know if he's there, like, pulling on Lucky Strikes or something.
Maybe he's unfiltered also.
I don't. Don't steal my bit. Don't do that. But he and Billis is awesome.
Yeah,
And he's gotten so good at speaking to someone who knows basketball. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
When Billis is like, yeah, I think they're going to have to go under that screen and over this one if they continue running. He is talking to somebody who knows the game, and I love it.
Yeah, he's really good.
Hey, Duke is loaded. Duke's loaded. I don't know if they're going to win the national title. There are so many guys out there going to play in the NBA. Boozer is clearly, as I was grilled on this last night, I think he's an NBA starter. I don't know if he's an NBA star. He's not a great athlete. He's a really good basketball player. He's polished. He has veteran moves, little understandings of space. He is very, very far along in how to play the game, how to work the game, what he needs to do to find angles and leverage. He's just like his dad in that he's a little heavy-legged.
Mm-hmm.
Great passer. His shot looks good. His floor is very high. You know for sure when you take him in the top 5 that he is going to be a contributing, reliable, successful, wealthy NBA player.
Yeah, so Duke trailed by 9 at halftime. That's when I checked in. And then they ended up winning by 11. So.
I will also say a couple other observations here.
Yeah.
Isaiah Evans, who right now is a skeleton, he's so thin and so physically weak. When he fills out, he's going to be real good. He will be playing for a lot of money. Dame Sarr, no relation to Alexander Sarr. I did not know that. S-A-R-R. Dame Sarr is an elite defensive talent. Need to see more from the offensive game, but I can tell you right now, whatever that is worth, I don't know where he's going to get drafted late first. He is an elite defensive talent. He's the kind of guy, if he were playing on like a mid-major college team, you could run a 1-3-1, put him at the top of it, and just contest every single pass. He would be lethal at the top of a 1-3-1. But he can switch onto anybody. He's great on the ball. He's great off the ball. He's great face guarding guys. The way he closes out without fouling. He gets low in his defensive stance. Elite defensive talent. And then watching the 21-year-old, watching Caleb Foster, I know he's kind of an afterthought when it comes to what they've got because he's been injured and he's a junior, 21. But when you start looking at who wins in the tournament, there's a lot of these senior-laden teams that don't have guys necessarily leaving early. Sometimes these groups of freshmen just they run into experienced teams that are tougher and better in an individual game. He's the kind of guy that will help them. They will lean on him once the tournament starts because he is strong and he plays nasty. He plays with an edge to him. He uses that offhand to knock people out of the way. Like you come up to guard him, he takes the fight to you. He's got a great little decel move. And if he can shoot it well enough, that's going to be a player who plays his best basketball in the tournament because of that physical and mental toughness that he's got. And they got another big guy who will be probably a late first-round pick somewhere. I also, it's interesting to watch John Shire, how actively he's moving up and down that sideline. Because his mentor, Mike Krzyzewski, at least later in his career, the only time he was up was to scream MFs at the referees. Otherwise, he would just sit and they'd run their stuff. But Shire's up there calling plays and pointing to spots on the floor and moving people around. And obviously, the recruiting is real strong. So, like some other Duke teams have flamed out late when they've been too young to get it. But having this guy Foster there might change the calculus a little bit. But there were a lot of really, really good basketball players on that floor that I was enjoying watching last night. And this has been Dan Bernstein Unfiltered, brought to you in partnership with Russ Armstrong and our friends at Chicago Window Guys. Call 847-302-9171 and check out his 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.